Hey everyone, today I'm doing a fast foundation review of the new Beauty Blender Bounce Liquid Whip Longwear Foundation. And today I'll be using the shade 2.20 Light Olive. I'm starting out on the left side of my face and I'll be using a Beauty Blender sponge to blend in this new Beauty Blender foundation. And speaking of new, you may be wondering why I have the word new in quotes. I just want to let you know, if you go on the Sephora website, this is under new foundations. It's not until you get it home and you read the box that you realize that this is actually the same Bounce foundation that used to come in the square package, but now they've changed it to a more sustainable type packaging, which is wonderful, and I wasn't too heartbroken because honestly, I've been wanting to try that foundation for a while anyway. So just know it's the packaging that's new, not the actual foundation. So here's the Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation in the shade 2.20, which is what I'm using today. But if you're interested, I also have here the shade 2.10, 3.25, 3.60, and 4.30, just for reference. So this is going on very nicely. It's actually very creamy feeling, which I was surprised about because when I heard the name Whip, I thought that meant it was going to be a whipped mousse type foundation, which I was a little nervous about because as wonderful as those looked on me when I was in my 20s, unfortunately now they just tend to emphasize my wrinkles. So covering the basics here, they refer to this as a full coverage, oil-free, liquid foundation with a natural looking matte finish that wears for up to 24 hours. And they refer to this soft matte finish as multi-dimensional, meaning it's supposed to just look like really gorgeous skin. The shade range is truly wonderful. They have 40 shades, and you get 1 fluid ounce or 30 ml for $29 US on the Sephora website. They use what they call a hyper whip process to create an airy formula that hugs the skin. Now, I can't tell you if it's hugging me or not, but I can tell you that, at least initially, it has a really beautiful finish that truly looks like skin. I know some of you prefer SPF in your foundations, some of you don't. This one in particular does not have an SPF in it, but it's also free of parabens, formaldehydes, phthalates, mineral oil, and it has less than 1% of a synthetic fragrance. So I want to stress to everyone that I did not use a primer before applying this foundation. I just went in with my regular moisturizing routine that I use after washing my face. The reason I feel it's so important to tell you that is because around the 5-hour mark, I actually started getting a little bit oily. Now for me, that's not a big issue. It doesn't bother me that much because I have normal to somewhat dry skin, so I look at a little oil production as just a little bit of a glow. Coming in a little bit later, around the 8-hour mark, I had just a tiny bit more glow, and then around the 10-hour mark, it seemed to pretty much have faded completely. Now the good news is, it faded in a very lovely way. It just kind of melted into my skin, so it wasn't patchy at all. Just be aware, you may need to play around with what you put underneath it in terms of a primer or moisturizer. If you truly do need it to last 24 hours, if you're a ER doctor on call or a vampire. I don't know. I'm trying to think of jobs that would require you to wear 24-hour foundation, but I can't think of any right now. So put in the comments below and we'll thumbs up the most creative answer. Okay, so this dried at just a little bit over 4 minutes, and here are some swatches for you. On top, we have today's foundation in the shade 2.20, freshly applied. Underneath that is a dried swatch of 2.20. And then underneath that, we have the L'Oreal True Match in C3. And finally, the Missha M BB Cream number 21. Thanks for watching today's somewhat fast foundation review. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you soon.